Hey everybody, welcome back to Swanson's Garage. Nice of you to stop by. Let me show you what we've been up to. I've been doing some more cleaning on the transmission here. Scraped a bunch of the gunk out of the clutch housing here. It's looking a lot better. Took another layer of gunk off the transmission. It's looking a whole lot better. Still a ton to do, but starting to see the bottom of the bucket. And then when you get tired of working on that, you got to bounce to something else. So I've been slowly starting to work on these other rear end parts. I got all these first level of gunk cleaned off. I got to finish taking that apart. Couldn't even tell before. There's actually, looks like a couple of leather seals behind this. That's where the transmission brake comes out of the side of the transmission. Got this one all first level cleaned up. Got these shims and this housing cleaned up. So yeah, just keep picking away at stuff here. Well, we got a little something done here. Not necessarily proud of it. It's kind of a hack job, but I converted my parts washer to a different pump, filter, and heater. Put it on a magnetic base so I can move it around the tank. All just cobbled up stuff from what I had around basically. Had to buy a couple new fittings and stuff. And the pump and filter and heater of course, but a lot of the fittings and valves and whatever was just junk I had around. I haven't even used it yet, but that's hopefully back in action. The only reason I really did that is because supposedly this water-based cleaners, which is what I'm using, works a lot better if you heat it. This pump was still going fine, nothing really wrong with it, but I had no way to heat the tank, so I just made this conversion and hopefully it works better. I'll let you know. I've been fighting with this stupid belt pulley for a lot longer than I want to admit. I've tried a whole bunch of different things. I haven't even videoed any of it because they've all been failures. But where we're at is I got another bearing splitter puller set. There's parts everywhere. It's not even completely in here, but it had a bigger, I don't know where my old one is, so where did I put it? Oh, okay, over here. So this was the one we had used back when we were heating it up with the weed burner and everything. So we bumped up to the next size bigger bearing splitter, and I put in better bolts to put the two halves together, because the studs that it came with were, China bolts, and I immediately bent them. So I got some grade 8 bolts. I put some nuts as spacers to pull this all up tight. I had to make a custom nut here to clear the cover here. So that's all sandwiched very tightly so that it can, basically it won't deflex or flex as much. So I'm pretty confident that we're got a good bite on the back of the hub there. Now it's just a matter of getting a good bite on connecting these standoffs or whatever to my new hydraulic puller that I bought myself. It's a 15-ton hydraulic gear puller. It's just a China special, but it seems to work pretty good so far. It came with these 3-jaw pullers here. But as you can see, I've been mixing and matching my other pullers. So I just got to get a way to connect this to that, and then we can try to put some more force on it. I ordered up some lifting bolts, like this, but actually designed for lifting. I'm thinking we can adapt it that way. Whether or not it'll work, I don't know. Those might fail before we can put enough pressure on it, because those 3/8 lifting bolts are only good for, I think it was like 12 or 1,500 pounds. And obviously that's a lot less than 15 tons. So that might be our weak point again. But I don't know. We just got to keep trying something. And these are low cost things to try, basically. So I gave up on that project for a while since I wasn't having any luck and my patience was running thin. And I went back to the differential spider gears here. And I figure since I got this nice hydraulic puller now, I'll give it a shot and see if I can press these pins out. And I did. I got the one out already. So we can clean them all up good and inspect everything, make sure it's all good, and then put it back together. It actually came apart pretty easy. It's just a fairly light press fit, really. Once they started moving, it came out pretty good. It's just more of a pain for setup. I started with a nut up against the back of the pin. I'll set it all up and I'll show you. And then as I went along, I just have it kept making, two nuts, and then the nut with a little piece of threaded rod in between to, I'll show you. I'll get all set up on the second one here, and I'll show you my redneck setup. Okay, now don't laugh. Here's the setup. Yeah, I realize it's pretty sketchy, but it works. And it's only crazy if it doesn't work. So I got a nut on the bottom side of the pin under there. You can see that in there. I had to put a clamp across to keep the jaws. They kept wanting to walk off the nut. I got a big socket as a spacer over the end of so the shaft has somewhere to go. And then a plate on the end of the socket. And the ram is pressing against the plate. And we just start. And it's moving really. I'm just got to keep an eye that I don't put any pressure on that gear, which I'm at the point now. So we let the pressure off. And then we reblock it. We put a thicker spacer and we just continue going. Gotta love this Chinese stuff though. Anybody see anything wrong with this? Funny. If you really want to laugh, I'm not trying to make fun of people where English is not your first language or anything, but if you want a good chuckle, pause and take a little read here. Hopefully it's clear enough for you to see. Okay, reblocked and pushed it up farther. It's coming really easy now, so I'm thinking we might be to the point where we could actually wiggle out the pin by hand. I'll take all this off and let's see how far we are. Okay, just as suspected. Nice and loose now, so we can take it all apart. Here we go. Our nuts are still in there. Our little pusher spacer. Okay, rotate it and do it a third time now. I am marking these, a single punch mark, 2 punch marks, and then 3 punch marks. And I'll mark these accordingly so I put the same parts in the same places. I don't know if it really matters or not, but might as well. These pins are hard. Punch won't touch them, file won't touch them. So the other one I just took the grinder and made just a little grinder mark to mark them. I'll have to do the same. But yeah, they are hard pins, so there probably is no wear on any of this stuff. Okay, number 3. As the arms go up, they get tighter to the gear there. So I either gotta reblock or sometimes, I gotta reblock. Okay. And there we go. number 3. There. Now we can clean that thing all up, inspect it all, and potentially put it all back together then. Cool. Okay, I did some parts cleaning here this morning. Yes, big believer now. The heated parts washer does a lot better job of cleaning the greasy gunk. It actually cuts the grease. So big thumbs up on that. I'm converted there. So I ran all these differential parts through. Pretty much clean then. There's a couple little corners in this casting here yet that I'll have to final clean, but it all cleaned up really nice, especially smooth parts. It really cuts the grease off of them, you know, any machine parts. Castings, rough castings, it's still, you know, a little trickier. I suppose maybe it's just a matter of getting the right scrub brush to get in those corners and whatever, but so this is all pretty much clean. Checking it over, things look pretty good, but another reason why it's best to take everything apart and inspect everything, even if you think it's probably okay. Because I had several people, you know, like, well, do you really need to take this apart? And I probably really didn't, but to satisfy my, you know, curiosity and just knowing what everything looked like, I wanted to get it apart, just to check everything, if nothing else. Like I've said before, it's nice to know what you have, and I'm glad I did now, because once I got it apart, I could see. Let's see if I can get the focus in there. There's a lot of embedded steel particles in the brass washer here. So I would have never known those were there if I had not taken this apart, because those are all hidden, you know, we couldn't see them. So I'll have to see. I kind of doubt I'm going to be able to clean them out of there. So we're probably looking at making some new brass washers, bronze, whatever they are. That's not the end of the world. They're pretty simple to make. There isn't a ton of wear, but there is, you know, you can see all that scoring in there. They definitely are worn. Probably wouldn't have been enough to worry about, but just the fact that you have those embedded pieces of steel in there is enough reason in itself just to probably change them. Gears themselves look really good. Very minimal, if any, wear. No big ugly teeth like the other gears have, which makes sense because there's minimal turning in the differential. As far as shaft to gear fit, there's no issues there. There's no play at all, no wear there. So I think once we sort out that, this can all go back together. We'll have to make at least one new pin, possibly all 3, because that one was bent, if you remember. And then this sub-assembly will be done. Just kind of a note as far as these press fit. It's a pretty light press fit. I'll probably be able to just tap them back in there with a soft hammer. The outside part isn't really the press, it's this inside bore where the press comes into play. So it's just kind of nice to know what exactly you're dealing with. Yeah, that's pretty. I could probably give it a good whack and stick it right back in there. So that's good to know that everything is fitting nice there. So we'll have a little bit of lunch, and we'll see what else we can get done this afternoon. Okay, so this afternoon I did some more parts cleaning and picking away at this corner of the bench. So I did the, I guess it would be the left side pinion drive axle and assembly. All cleaned up really nice. The heated parts washer makes a big difference. That really heats it up nice. Actually, it gets quite warm, almost a little bit on the hot side. Again, like the bearings and stuff, like I mentioned before, I'll have to soak them in a pale lacquer thinner or something to get all the inside all the rollers cleaned out, because you can only scrub up the outsides of them. But everything looks good, as far as the inner race and the bearings and everything. As far as I can see at this point, that's all good to use. These black spots you see aren't really anything to worry about. That's just some discoloration from like where the bearing had been sitting, I suppose. It's not actually like a significant pit or anything. And they're not like the final axle roller bearings where they were worn into. I mean, it's all nice and smooth. So like I said, as of right now, I think all that is good to use. Washer here, and then the cap to go on the end. All cleaned up really nicely. Like I said, as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with any of that. I think this is supposed to be stepped like this. I could be wrong. I'll have to do some more studying how it all goes together. And like I've kind of mentioned too, once this is all clean and we start actually putting stuff back together, we'll dry fit and test everything before it's all 100% done to make sure all the clearances and backlashes and gear backlashes and bearing rather loosenesses and everything is good before we set anything permanently. So that's all really good. Like I said, I'll just kind of keep picking away at all these dirty parts. Other really good news, I just heard back from Matt, the guy doing the Babbitt work for the differential. He's got it done already, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think it'd be done quite yet, but he was doing some other Babbitt work. I guess we did it all at the same time, kind of like we've talked with machining. Well, if you're all set up and doing it, you might as well do it all. So that's all ready to go. He ended up taking 35 thou off to true everything up. I guess the one side you probably would have got by with like 25 thou, but he figured just to keep everything the same, the worst side needed 35 thou, so he just did them both to match. That way everything is the same and interchangeable, whatever. So really excited about that. We'll just keep an eye out for a ride to get those parts from Fargo, where he is, back up to Kenmare here, where I'm at. Because there's always somebody going back and forth for something. So I'm in no hurry. So I'm sure we'll eventually find a ride to hop them this way. And then once we get this differential or transmission and differential, everything all cleaned out for good, we can actually start putting stuff back together. That'll be an exciting time. We still got to get that stupid belt pulley off, but we'll eventually get it. Well, I thank you all for watching. If you haven't hit the old subscribe button, you might as well do that, because then you'll get notified and whatever, especially if you hit the little bell. You'll get notified when new videos come out. I try to put them out about once a week. There's been a lot of cleaning and stuff here lately, so there might be a few weeks where I might have to skip one just because there isn't much, to show you guys. Yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you would. It helps the YouTube algorithms. People see more. And if you know other people that like this stuff, be sure to share. Get the word out that what I'm doing here, and try to grow the channel a little bit. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.